Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik. We're talking cars. How you doing this morning, Bernie?
I'm doing very well.
So, Bernie, you've been doing car repairs for over 30 years. We have this little series running where we're talking about the reliability of all sorts of different vehicles. Today, we're talking about the Toyota Sequoia. How reliable are Toyota Sequoias?
I'd say, to put it very simply, very reliable.
All right, that's pretty definitive. What kind of competitors are there in this category? What does this vehicle even look like?
Well, it's a full-size SUV. Let's while you say what does it look like, let's just share a photo real quick and get that out of the way. And so there is a 2005 Toyota Sequoia. As you can see, it's a full-size, pretty much full-size SUV, equivalent, I would say, to a Suburban. Actually, probably not as big as a Suburban, but maybe a Tahoe, Chevy Tahoe, Ford X, little smaller than a Ford Excursion. No, not an Excursion. That's a massive Expedition. A little smaller than an Expedition. A little bigger than an Explorer. So kind of in that category of mid to full size SUVs. So for competitors, I mentioned them. Really, it's the Chevy Tahoe Suburban type vehicle or the Ford Expedition Explorer category. And how does it fare?
How does it fare against those?
I'd say very reliable. I'm not such a big fan of the Ford products. There's a few issues that they have that are, I would say, put them on a much lower scale of reliability. I put the Toyota way up there. I find the Tahoes and Suburbans are really highly reliable as well. So, they're all kind of equivalent quality vehicles.
What about some of the other Japanese and Korean makes?
For some reason, I can't think of another imported vehicle that's of this size, of these sort of model years that's equivalent to it.
So this is bigger than a Kia Sedona. This is larger than.
This is larger. This is a body on frame truck. So this is an actual real truck. Now I know Nissan has the Nissan Titan, the pickup, but I don't believe they have an SUV version of that. So but the equivalent pickup trucks in the Nissan full size and Toyota are comparable.
So what kind of problems do you see with this vehicle?
Well, not a lot. And I will say, to be fair, we don't see a ton of them because there are not a lot of them on the road. They're not a huge selling vehicle like there's a lot more Tahoes and Suburbans, and we work on a lot of Ford products. We don't see as many of these vehicles, and really, very few issues with them. They are very reliable. I always look at research of what other people are seeing on them. There's a few complaints of transmission issues in the earlier years. So earlier meaning around 2001 up to about 04. That vehicle that I showed you in the photo was in 05. By that time, the transmission concerns seem to be non-existent. But there's very little that seems to go wrong with them. And all we do with the clients we have is just basic maintenance services, brakes, oil services, and whatever other maintenance items are required.
Does this vehicle use a timing belt?
Yeah, it does. Up to around 2010 on the 4.7 liter V8s, they're all timing belt engines, so that's something you need to address. 08 and newer, there's a 5.7 V8. Those are all chain driven, and once you get into the 2010 years and up, they're all chain driven engines. So. But the belt is definitely something that needs to be done. And usually I think the service interval is about 168,000 kilometers, which is 105,000 miles, I believe. So that's when you need to replace it.
What about timing chains? Do they ever need service?
Not normally. A timing chain, there's no replacement interval on it. It's meant to last the life of the engine, however long that is. And sometimes that's really up to how well you take care of your engine. Timing chains, engines, you really got to be rigorous with your oil changes. Follow the maintenance schedule or sooner. Don't leave it too long. That's when the timing chains wear. There's a lot of plastic guide rails and pieces, and that's when they deteriorate. So you really don't want to do anything to cause your timing chains to need replacement because they are so expensive to do.
What about resale value on these vehicles?
Really high, and that's actually, I would say that's where the Toyotas probably have an edge over the Suburbans, Tahoes, and especially the Fords. Toyota's always, they're higher priced to buy, generally speaking, for equivalent models. So you're going to pay more to buy them, but as over time, the depreciation on Toyotas is generally a lot less. So, so the good news is if you buy a brand new one, you actually retain more of your value in the vehicle. But when it comes to buying a used one, they often cost more money to buy, but they are durable, they're reliable. So you're paying money for that. But yeah, the resale value is good for Toyotas. I remember for years the Toyota 4Runner actually had the highest resale value of any vehicle. Even you buy a new one for say $50,000, you can sell it 3 or 4 years later for 45. So that's outrageously good resale value. And I've heard actually the FJ Cruiser, which is a kind of a unique little sport utility vehicle. Again, they have extremely high resale value. So that's one thing very positive about Toyotas.
This would be a vehicle that you'd recommend?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great vehicle. If you're looking for a good quality, large SUV, you can even get these with 3 rows of seats so you can haul a big family around. They'll use a lot of gas. It's a big vehicle, but again, super reliable, very nice ride. They're available in a range of models, right up to fully luxurious. So, just short of a Lexus in terms of luxury features. So pretty amazing. Very good vehicle.
So there you go. If you're looking for a Toyota Sequoia, they get the stamp of approval from Bernie Pawlik at Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver. If you're needing service on your Toyota products, these are the guys to call, 604-327-7112, or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark.